Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're going to talk about the 2020 Jeep Gladiator. I had an opportunity to go to California and drive this vehicle both on and off the road and in all of its trim levels. The Gladiator is Jeep's new pickup truck. It's well, when it first announced, we kind of assumed it was going to be a Wrangler with a cargo bed, and that's not too far off, but it's more than that, because this is a truck as much as it is a Jeep. We can say it's very Jeep, though. If there's anything that American vehicle brands do, it's spouting numbers. They love spouting numbers, especially truck makers. They like talking about them being the most capable and the best in class and all that stuff. Well, Jeep legitimately gets to do that with the 2020 Gladiator. Compared to the Wrangler, which it will be compared to most often, the Gladiator has a lot of differences and a lot of betterment. The betterment is that it doesn't have the puny towing and hauling capabilities that the Wrangler SUV does. It's way more truck for that. Maximum tow for this truck is 7,650 pounds, and maximum hauling is 1,600 pounds. Those numbers change a little bit. Towing goes down to 7,000 pounds if you're in the Rubicon model with the automatic transmission, and so there are variants there, just like there is with any pickup truck. But even at its worst, the Jeep Gladiator is better than the nearest competitor, which would be the best-selling Toyota Tacoma. So those are pretty big numbers. Looking at the capability of this truck, though, it's not just about towing and hauling. That's sort of a bonus, I think. Of course, having the truck bed is a big deal. That's the point of having that would be the point of getting a Gladiator, because after all, you would be considering a Wrangler Unlimited, four-door Wrangler, versus this, and you would end up with this probably because you want that extra cargo space. You want to be able to carry all your stuff out into the wilderness, just like you would, instead of having to use like a trailer or strap it on top or some other thing that you would have to do with a Wrangler. Wranglers are not known for having a ton of cargo. So you have that 5-foot bed on the back. That's kind of the point of having the Gladiator. Plus, as an everyday vehicle, you do have the option of using it like a pickup truck. So there is that. So the comparisons are mostly going to be in off-road capability. Is the Gladiator as capable as a Wrangler? So if you look at we'll go straight to the serious off-road, go straight to the Rubicon models of either one. With the current generation Wrangler Rubicon, in the two-door, you have a 44-degree approach angle, 10.8 inches of ground clearance, and 27.8 degrees of breakover with a 37-degree departure. With the four-door Wrangler, that changes a little bit. The approach and departure are the same, but your breakover, because of the longer wheelbase, is 22.6 degrees versus that 27.8. Looking at that, so a four-door Wrangler has a 22.6 degree breakover. So looking at the Gladiator, it's only 2 degrees less. It's about 20 degrees in breakover. So that's not bad at all, and the Gladiator actually has about half an inch more ground clearance. It's at 11.4, I believe. I'll have to look. I'd have to look that up, but yes, it's 11.1 inches with a 20.3 degree breakover. So it's very comparable. And then the time that we spent off-road, so we had on-road, drove the Sport on-road first, then drove the Overland on-road, drove the Sport S, which is basically the Sport with an automatic transmission, and then off-road drove the Rubicon model, as well as the Overland model. The Rubicon model is exceedingly capable. The off-road course that Jeep built for this event was very hardcore. There was some stuff, you'll be looking at it right now with you can see here, it's basically a controlled slide down this pile of rocks, and it's a it did it beautifully. There were some people that slashed some tires, and we were bottoming out, we were smacking rocks, we were hitting things, but it really didn't make much of a impact on the vehicle. It did great. So compared to a Wrangler, I would take a Gladiator too. Yes, I would say they are so close to being as capable as one another that there really is very little difference. The only people that are going to care are the people that crunch numbers, or the people that are going to do piles of modification because they're, you know, serious rock climbers or whatever. We'll leave that stuff to the Moab people. You know, some of the nut jobs, I have to say, that do things that I don't know that I would want to try. But this is a very, very capable vehicle. Definitely deserves to have the Jeep name. And then it has a lot of truck stuff. So the biggest obvious change is that truck bed. Well, the Gladiator is actually very different from the Wrangler in a lot of ways. So that 5-foot truck bed, it has a lot of nice little smart design qualities. It's very well done. Mopar has tons of stuff to add to that. But underneath, the truck is also different. The chassis is different. It's a coil spring all the way around, which is very different from the Wrangler. It has a unique what do they call it? 5 something. Anyway, they have a unique underpinning. So it's a very different vehicle than the Wrangler, but you can still strip it down. Just like the Wrangler, you can take all the doors off. Just like the Wrangler, you can drop the windshield down. Just like the Wrangler, you can take the top partially off or all the way off. So the hardtop has the removable panels. You don't need any tools for that, or the entire hardtop can come off. The soft top folds back really quick. One person can do it, no problem. Doesn't require any tools, or you can take that all the way off. So no matter what you do, you can take everything off of this, and that's in every single model. Also with a Gladiator, every single model is 4-wheel drive. There are 2 different 4-wheel drive systems. The standard one is in the Sport and Overland models, and the more aggressive one is in the Rubicon model. And the crawl ratios are nuts. I'm flipping through to look them up really quick because they are crazy nuts. So the Rubicon with a manual transmission, so you can either get a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic with any of the trim levels of the Gladiator. So the Rubicon with a manual transmission has an 84.2 to 1 crawl ratio. Going to the automatic, it's still 77.2 to 1. So that's crazy. In the Sport and Overlands, it's 52.1 with the manual and 47.8 with the automatic. Those are really, really crazy numbers. That is boom nuts. The Sport and Overland models have composite bumpers. The Rubicon has steel bumpers. Couple of other differences: the Sport model does not have the under protection, so it has the skid plates, but it does not have the side panel protection and the other things. That side panel protection on the Overland and the Rubicon models is there to protect the bodywork when you smack into things. It's very, very tough, good stuff, and it runs the length of the vehicle, including the overhead on the bed, which is very important because that's, in a pickup truck, anybody who off-roads knows that's usually where you're going to smack it and break it. Also, all of the Jeep models, all the Gladiator models, have a 30-inch water fording capability. That means you can go into water up to 30 inches deep. That's unheard of in this kind of segment. Right now, when it hits showrooms, which will be sometime in May, I believe, May of 2019, it will come with a 3.6 liter V6, again 6-speed manual or 8-speed automatic. Later in the model year, probably around the end of 2019 or the beginning of 2020, there will be a 3-liter turbo diesel option. That's the same diesel that's being offered in the Wrangler. Jeep did not say anything about the 4-cylinder engine, and when I asked about it, they said it does not fit in this. It's just not quite powerful enough. I would totally agree with that. This is a heavier rig. So yes, I would say that's not going to appear, but they couldn't comment when I asked about the plug-in hybrid. So the Wrangler is going to get a plug-in hybrid option sometime in the next year. I believe it's for the 2021 model year. And so I will not be surprised at all if that doesn't translate to this sometime in that time frame. So sometime before 2022. Other things, this is very astute off-road. It's a very good hauler. Towing is limited mostly by the wheelbase of the truck, not by its capability. So you're going to have a hard time towing something very long. One of the things they had there for us to tow was a very long dual axle camper trailer, and it moved around a lot. And that's because when you have that much space between your rear axle and the axles on the trailer, when that space is longer than the truck itself, it's going to create sway. It just happens. With a shorter trailer with a lower center of gravity, which was a boat, that did way better. So this did great with a boat. It'll do great with most everything. If you're pulling a smaller camper trailer, realistic size, you're pulling something that's, say, I don't know, 24, 26 feet. I don't think I would go past that. I don't think I would go further than that. And also, there are no trailer brakes on this. There's no trailer brake control. So that also limits a little bit. But really, what you're going to be towing with is toys. You could tow a camper, and if you are, you're probably towing a small one. But most likely, you're going to be towing a trailer that has toys on it. You're going to be towing boats. You're going to be towing, paddleboard gear, winter gear, off-roading gear, whatever. Mopar has a full suite of things that you can throw on this. When it goes into showrooms, there will be 200 Mopar accessories ready to go, either from the dealership or from the factory for this. And that's just to get started. They have big plans for this. Mopar, and I believe rightly, believes that this truck will be the most accessorized vehicle in the next couple of years, which would mean it displaces the Wrangler, which is currently the most accessorized vehicle on the road. So very, very cool. Really liked the Jeep Gladiator. It's become my favorite vehicle right now, and it will probably stay there for quite a while because this is exactly what I want. So very, very cool. Really neat. Again, thanks to Jeep for the opportunity to go out there. Great time driving it. Can't wait to get it to my house to drive it in the driveway. That should happen sometime this summer. You'll see more video when that does. So again, Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com talking about the 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Talk to you again soon.